Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANSgear. We're going to look at a Ninja slide check today, a Ninja remote line with slide check. We get a lot of questions on what to do or how to fix your slide check if it starts to leak. So we're going to take a look at this one. We'll take it apart and show you what to fix or show you what to look for if your remote line happens to be leaking at the slide check area. Now, before we even get to that, we're going to talk about the remote line. A lot of people get their remote line and they're confused as to how it sets up, because when you take it out of the package, it's going to look like this. All the parts are going to be together in order to make it as compact as possible and fit in the bag. You're going to need to take the parts out of it and attach them to your gun. So the first thing you're going to do is disconnect at the quick disconnect fitting. This piece that is screwed into your UFA here, you need to take it out. Okay, this piece is going to go into your gun. This is what goes into where your tank screws in. Okay, it does not stay in here. So put this into where your tank screws in. You take your tank, screw it into this end, and this is going to be the on and off gas pressure for your tank. So what you'll do first is make sure that the slide check is in the rear position. Put your tank on, turn that on to gas the tank or the line up. Gas runs through the line and will stop at the slide check because you've got it in the back or stopped position. This will be on your gun. Connect your slide check to your gun. Make sure that the fitting snaps into place. Then you can push the slide check forward. Gas is going to come through and go into your gun. When you want to cut the gas off, you don't need to mess around with this. You just slide the slide check back. The gas stops here and you can disconnect the gun. So that's how it's going to work. For the video, we're not really going to focus on these parts here. We really want to look at the slide check. So underneath your slide check here are two O-rings, and the O-rings usually go bad over time because they are just sliding back and forth constantly. So those are the O-rings that we're going to need to replace. In order to get the slide check off, or the slide part of the slide check off, we need to remove this fitting here, and we need to remove whatever restrictive device keeps the slide check from going all the way forward. So I have already loosened this up so that I can take it and unscrew it off of here, right there. And this is just our quick disconnect fitting. And then we're going to need to remove this piece here. This is a C-clip that's on here. Now I've seen lots of other things, an O-ring, a C-clip, a full metal band, all sorts of things to keep this from popping off here. So whatever that is, you need to remove it. I'm going to use a pair of needle nose pliers. These are rounded versions, but whatever, any kind of plier needle nose style will work, because we want to pop this clip off. Now these things are notorious for, when they pop off, shooting all over the place. So try to keep it controlled. Try to push it down against a table so that when it does come off, you don't lose it, because they do like to go everywhere. Get it on here. See, I was able to push it off, so it is coming off, but not all the way. I should be able to grab it and then pull it off by hand. So there's our little C-clip that's holding the slide check in place. Once that's removed off, we can pull the slide check right off the front. So it might be a little hard to see, but on the slide check tube here, there's two holes. When the air comes in, it always is going to come out of this first hole. And depending on where the slide sits, it's either going to stop the gas at this hole, or it's going to let it continue into the second hole and out the front of the slide check, or out of the remote. So when this is in the back position, it only lets the gas come out of the front or the back and not get into the front. When you slide it forward, it completes basically the circuit. The gas comes out of the middle, into the front, and out the end of the gun. So if you have this in the rear position, where it should be blocking all the gas or holding it in, and it's leaking, that's because your O-rings have gone bad in here. Now there's an O-ring recessed on each side, inside here. And really the only way to get it out is with a pick. If you don't have a pick set, pick one up, because it makes getting O-rings out so much easier. So we're going to remove this O-ring right here. We're going to turn it around. We're going to pull out this O-ring right here. Now if we look at these O-rings, when we pull them out, they're going to probably be chewed up or beat up if you are having a leaking problem. So you're just going to want to replace them. I recommend using just a regular tank O-ring, but you want to use a hard materialed O-ring. This right here is a size 15 urethane O-ring, with a 90 durometer, meaning it's a very hard O-ring. This is what you should be using on the top of your tank at all times. In a pinch, you can use a size 15 O-ring, but in a softer material like a Buna material in a 70 durometer. But know that it's going to potentially wear out quicker. And if you're using CO2, which is a very cold gas, it can cause those softer O-rings to get brittle and get hard and fall apart. So the harder O-ring will hold up longer, and it's what you should be using. To put them in, what I do is I kind of squeeze the O-ring together like that. It's going to make it kind of stick out at the front, and then you can just slide it into the spot and push it down into where it needs to go. Now, however you want to do it, however you want to put your O-rings in there, that's up to you. That's the easiest way that I've found to do it. So again, squeeze the side of the O-ring, gives it a kind of a lip right there, put it in, and then you can push it the rest of the way down into the spot. Once you've got your O-rings on there, you're going to use a little bit of oil or grease on your O-rings, both sides, and go ahead and reinstall them onto the slide check. And as you put it on, you want to make sure that you're not getting it caught on anything, because the whole reason you took the slide check apart in the first place was to fix the O-rings. And while putting it back on, you chip your O-rings, so you're kind of defeating the purpose of taking it apart. So be careful when you put it back together. Your clip here, you can put it back on. Most of the time, once you've removed a C-clip off, you can get it on by hand just by pushing it on. If not, you can use a pair of pliers and grab it from both sides and squeeze it together. Be super careful though when you do that you don't mark or crush or destroy the opposite side, because you don't want to ruin your slide check. So be careful, or put a piece of cloth, something on there to protect the slide check. We're going to put that all the way on, snap it in. When we go to reinstall this on here, you are going to either need to do one of two things, Teflon or Loctite. If you're going to use Loctite, you need to use a red or a green. I prefer red because it's easier to break down. If you need to take it apart, don't use blue. Red or green is going to make it airtight, or just Teflon. Teflon tape's easier, especially if you plan on taking it apart again. So once you've Tefloned it and put it together, gas it up, make sure you don't have any leaks, and you're ready to go. So this is how to disassemble, reassemble, and fix a leaky slide check. This one right here, this Ninja slide check, is available through the website. You can purchase it. So check it out and order yours now at ANSgear.com.